Okay, folks, good evening and welcome to Blue Heart 1872 podcast. Tonight, folks, we're joined by Sebastian Rozental. It's a long time since I hear that name, coming live from his home in Chile, South America. I don't know what time it is there and whether it's morning or night, but Sebastian's going to be on very soon. Disappointing for Rangers today, folks, but keep the faith. The late 55's coming home. Minor slip. Will be coming home. Get your questions. The questions are starting to come in already. Just write your questions in. If you're on the Facebook page, folks, please like and share because we want to get this page to over 30,000 people. So like and share the page. Also, if you're on the Twitter account, hit the retweet, and you can also subscribe to our YouTube. Now, folks, if you've seen the Facebook page this last few days, I've put this shirt up, signed by nobody else other than, I think he's probably watching too. Let me get this. Mr. Michael Moles. It's complete with the Lee Rigby Foundation logo and the Union flag. Now, you can win that shirt. And to win that shirt, all you've got to do is go to the Facebook page, the post where it's got Mikey's shirt. Like and share the post, folks, and tag a friend. And you get a chance to win that shirt. The numbers are growing. There's a big audience here, folks. So please like and share. Keep the questions coming in. The questions are flying in the minute, but we'll get Sebastian on, then we'll see where we go from there. Folks, Wednesday night we have got ex-Ranger now at Linfield, Matthew Clark will be joining us at 8 o'clock. Good one for Linfield last night. Scored in the last kick of the game as Crusaders to win the game 2-1. Next Sunday, folks, not Rangers related, but one of the best players to play in the Premier League, Matthew Letizier, will be on. And the following week, that's Sunday the 21st, here's the big one. It's Mark Hateley. Mark Hateley will be on. And on the 28th, folks, ex-Ranger, also Southampton, we've got James Beattie. So plenty of names to look forward to. And there's a few other players, hopefully they'll be on between then and now. So, folks, hopefully if I hit my button, I should get Sebastian on anytime. Good evening, Sebastian, or good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is in Chile.
Here is 5 p.m.
5 p.m. Oh, so it's good evening, right? Okay. So,
thank you for thinking in me. For me, it's a pleasure, an honor, and thank you.
No problem, Sebastian. You're very welcome. Obviously, we had you across a couple of years ago when you played in the charity game for us for the Lee Rigby Foundation. We've always tried to get you on here. Can you hear me, Sebastian?
I had hair in that moment. Now I don't have hair.
You had hair then? Right, you've no hair. Well, funny enough now, I think he's watching Michael Moles. He asked me to ask you a question. Do you prefer long hair or bald?
Great friend, Michael. Amazing player.
Good player
that fans love him. Such a good character. I always talk to him in general, so I say hi to him, of course. With hair, of course. Now I don't have. That's the problem. But
no, you don't have hair. Yeah. But Seb, also he told me to ask you: do you prefer empanada or haggis?
Or haggis, empanada. But I like haggis when I try.
You liked haggis when you were in Scotland?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay, so Seb, I take you back to all them years ago, a 20-year-old in South America, and Rangers come knocking on the door. Well, how did you see that? How did you being so far away from home?
There was a moment also different than to now, where in that moment you didn't have information, you didn't have internet, and all the stuff that you have now that you can see and learn a lot before you go to a place. I remember in '96 when everything started. I was playing in a good level and offers came. Rangers was playing the Champions League that year, and if I'm not wrong, they were in a group stage with Grasshopper. And I remember before the offer of Rangers arrived, that Champions League '96, '97, that I watched live that game. They show it in TV in that moment. I don't know, it was ESPN or something like that here in Chile. and I saw the stadium. I saw the atmosphere. Was the only time that I could see really that. And then in November, Archie Knox, that was the assistant coach of Walter, traveled to Chile to see me in a game of the national team against Uruguay that I played. That was November of '96. And I went after the game that we won with Chile 1-0 to have dinner with Archie. He told me that they decided to buy me, and that they were going to start the negotiations with my club here, Universidad Católica. And after that couple of weeks, my father, that was my agent in that moment, told me that Walter called him and that he was going to come to Chile.
Okay.
So I didn't understand how here in Chile there was not the figure of the manager, that the manager can be 3-4 days away from practice. Here the coach is every day in the field. There's no manager figure. And so Walter arrived, for example, I don't know, Wednesday at lunchtime. We went for dinner, and Thursday he flew back all the way to Glasgow. So imagine it's a travel of 24 hours.
Yeah.
You go from Glasgow to London, and from London to Chile is 14 hours flight.
Yeah.
So I couldn't believe it. And Walter came. We had dinner that day, and we sit down in the table, and he told me, the only reason why I came is because I wanted to meet you in person. And for me, it was the best and the most incredible thing that somebody did in football. So in that moment, I said, this is a amazing club family with a person that I don't know if I met too many persons like Walter Smith. And he brought me a VHS, the cassettes, with the history of the club, with the title. With one video was the 8 in a row title.
Yes. Yeah.
Before that I arrived. Okay. So and a T-shirt and books and everything from the club. So in that moment, I saw all the videos and everything, and was amazing. And I realized in that moment how big was the club.
Yeah. Can you hear me, Sebastian? Yep.
Yes.
Oh, you can hear me. Yeah, okay. So we have a question here, Sebastian, and it says, so what did it feel like when you heard Rangers were interested?
As I told you, I saw the game. I saw how big was the club, especially after Archie and Walter came. In that moment, when Rangers came was around November. Since July of that year, they came a lot of offers from Manchester United, from PSV, from Sunderland. I was very close to go to Sunderland. Very close before Rangers. Yes.
Okay.
And I was very excited because for me it was more important and better to go to a huge club that was fighting for the title. As a striker, I was sure that I was going to have a lot of chances to score because I saw the history of McCoy is the top man there. So I knew that he had chances all the time. And in that moment, if I would arrive in a normal situation without the injury, I was sure that I was going to score goals because in general, number 9 of Rangers always score goals. So I was very, very excited and happy that a huge club like Rangers was interested in me.
Yeah, and also, Seb, at that time, Rangers had players like Paul Gascoigne at the club. That had to be a magnet as well for you to play with Gascoigne.
Yes, that year, Gaza played the Euro 96 in England when he scored the famous goal against Scotland.
Yeah.
And I knew about Andy Gorham, a lot about, of course, my idols in that moment, that was Brian Laudrup.
Yeah.
Richard Goff, that was the captain. So I knew about the club.
Yeah, very good. So one of the questions from Gary Patton is, Sebastian, what was the feeling like when you scored your first goal for Rangers against St. Johnstone?
As we were talking before, before that we connected, I was telling you that for me it was incredible and a mix of emotions because I was injured already. In that game against St. Johnstone, that was my first game at Ibrox, was my 4 grandparents, my mother, my father, my brother, my sister was not able to go, and one agent that did all the job, that was my agent for many years, Israeli guy, Ronen Katzab.
Yeah.
And so the game started. In the first minute, I got injured. I felt pain in my knee, and I knew it was not very bad because I could continue playing, but I knew that something was not right. So I played very simple that game. Usually I was good at dribbling, taking 1-against-1, and I received the ball in that game and I passed in 1 touch maximum. And I don't remember exactly, minute 25, 30. Gaza gave me an assist and I go 1-against-1 against the goalkeeper and I score. So the feeling of the stadium that was always full, that they received me an incredible way, that the fans received me. They were talking a lot about me all that period. And a boy, 20 years old, from Chile, a country that is million miles away, the way that the fans received me was incredible. So it was an explosion inside of me with the doubt of how I was going to continue with the knee and everything, but was a relief because I was embarrassed to come out.
Yeah, so you just been played on.
I couldn't come out. I felt pain in the knee. I look at the stadium, huge, everybody there. They go every game. They didn't go to watch me, but I was the new player.
Yeah.
So I was embarrassed to come out. I didn't want to come out, and unfortunately, then I was out for 2 years.
Yeah, I know. Because obviously, Sebastian, at that time when you come to Rangers, I remember £4 million was a lot of money then. And it was this 20-year-old from Chile for £4 million. So they were comparing you to Salas.
In that moment, we were playing together with Zamorano and Salas in the national team. So started the 3 of us. We had, it's difficult to say now because Salas did an amazing career and he played in Lazio, in Juventus. But we were in that moment in kind of a same level.
Yeah.
Of course, he made it and he didn't have any problem until he was older when he got a knee problem. But he had the chance to play in a good level in Europe. I think we were kind of in the same way.
Yeah. Obviously, folks, if you're listening in tonight, just like and share the page, and we'll give a shout out to Susie Sue from We Are Bars from Bears because I know she's been plugging this podcast for Sebastian. So we'll give Bars for Bears a shout out. Sebastian, so at the time with the injury, obviously, mentally it must have basically destroyed you sitting in a hotel for 6 months injured.
Yeah, and also, Gary, the problem was that it was a very simple injury. That what killed me. I can't believe, because I didn't have cruciate ligament, I didn't have cartilage problem. It was a medial ligament, the collateral, the most simple injury in the knee. Okay. And unfortunately, I didn't have a good surgery in USA, in America, where it was the first operation. And after that surgery, my knee got infected and I had many problems because of the bad operation that I have in that moment. But usually a player that have my injury don't receive a surgery. And some doctors, if they make the surgery, in 3 months you're playing. And it took me 2.5 years to come back.
Yeah.
With 4 operations for something that is really, really stupid. When I speak with doctors, they cannot believe that I had that bad luck, because if Michael Maltz, for example, everybody remember when he got injured, he had cruciate ligament. That is a difficult injury, and he was out for a long time and everything.
Yeah.
My injury was really, really stupid, and I still cannot believe that I had that bad luck that I was out for 2.5 years.
2.5 years, so, yeah. So was that a surgeon's fault there, or what? Who's to blame for that?
Yeah, but life is like that. But I don't regret at all. Of course, I think and I try to think how beautiful maybe was going to be my career in Rangers without that injury. For sure was going to be for many, many years and very successful because I was you don't have any idea how happy I was in Glasgow, a city that I love. I don't care about the weather. Everybody asks me and the rain, but really, I don't know what I always before. When I was a child, I went to a British school.
Okay.
So I was always into the tradition of United Kingdom in general.
Yeah.
I love music. I love theater. I love movies. I love football. So that culture and history of the UK is incredible. And I was very lucky that I went to Scotland, and the people was friendly. Everybody treated me amazing. The club, the president of the club, all the coaching staff, fans, players, they were incredible with me, because I think also they felt a little bit bad that I was very unlucky, that I spent 6 months with crutches or in the wheelchair the first month inside of the hotel in Glasgow. So, and today you have Netflix, you have Facebook, you have everything. I had 2 channels, ITV and BBC.
Not good.
So it was hard. It was really, really hard.
Yeah. Okay. Good question from Jim Cameron. He says, Sebastian, how did you find the dressing room with geezers like Gascoigne in it? So obviously a lot of characters at Rangers.
When I arrived the 2nd of January, before the Old Firm game against Celtic, when we won 3-1 with an amazing goal of Albert, the Hammer.
I was at that, yeah.
Kick, amazing, that everybody really remember. I was in that in the stadium. They introduced me to the fans. I walked until the middle of the pitch. John Gray came with me out of the from the dressing room, and it was amazing to arrive, to say hi to everybody, to people that I was watching in TV, like Gaza, like Laudrup, like everybody. And they were fun. They were happy. The team spirit that I think is not how you can say it in English. There's a reason why everything happened in those years where Rangers were that level of success. The 9 in a row title from the 9. The atmosphere was incredible. McCoy, Gary, I arrived supposedly as a striker to compete with Ali, and Ali, you cannot compete with him in anything. He's amazing character, friendly, fans love him, goal scorer, incredible player. But in that moment, anybody can think that maybe I can arrive to compete with him. And he was one of the best that received me. I went to spend Christmas with his family. Fantastic. And I was the one who was coming to replace him,
Yeah.
So Ian Ferguson, Richard Goff took me to his house. Everybody, Derek McInnes, Charlie Miller. I don't want to forget about somebody, but all of them treat me incredible. Ian Durant, that he had a big knee problem, he was friendly with me. Stuart McCall. Everybody. And Gaza, of course, the best that you can have. It's a dream. It was a dream for me to be with him. And also I was lucky with Gaza. Unfortunately for me and for him, we got injured. I got injured against St. Johnstone. And in that week, Rangers play a friendly tournament. I don't know if you remember, against Milan, Liverpool, and Arsenal in Amsterdam.
Yes.
There was a friendly tournament that you play in a smaller field. And Gaza got injured in that moment. So we were together in the trade room for, 3 months.
Well, I bet that was good fun.
A lot of fun. a lot of fun.
Brilliant. So, question from, I think you've went over this already, from Stuart Bell, but what was it like playing in front of the best fans in the world, Sebastian?
The atmosphere that I spent in Ibrox is very difficult to explain. People don't realize how much energy there's in that stadium. Unbelievable. I was lucky because after football, in the job that I do now, that I work in an agency that represent players, I had the chance to go every week in Turkey, in England, in Italy, many stadiums. But the atmosphere that you feel in Ibrox and the loyalty and the support of the fans, I always try to explain to my friends even the ones that play, Salah, Zamorano, Alexis Sanchez, Vidal, all the players, that one day you have to go to Ibrox.
Good.
One day.
Good.
You have
Good.
to go to Ibrox and watch a Rangers Celtic game. In the level of Boca Junior, River Plate, better than Barcelona Real Madrid. Barcelona Real Madrid is a more important game around the world, but the atmosphere in an Old Firm game, impossible to compare.
Yeah, something else in it. Yeah. Okay, Seb, question from the Rangers fit kit man. Seb, where has that lovely blonde hair all gone?
That's something that I ask every day when I look in the mirror.
Right. Question from Derek Gray. Seb, how did you feel when you scored 2 goals against Ayr United and was left out in the final?
Oh, incredible that you remember that, Derek. You can imagine how pissed I was, because it was so hard for me to come back to Rangers and to come back healthy. I play for 6-7 months in loan in Católica, and I came not 100% in fitness because I was 2.5 years out without preseason, without everything. So my level in 2000 was good in some games, others not so good, but I managed to score some goals. But the cup, I almost played completely. And in the semi-final, I scored 2. And then we play Aberdeen in the final in Hampden. And in that moment was that stupid rule that I couldn't believe, that you could take only 3 players to the bench.
Yeah.
Compare it, in the league, you take 6, 7, I don't know.
Yeah.
But in the Scottish Cup, I don't know if it's still like that. I think no.
No, it's not like that now. Take more now, yeah.
So Advocat decided to take 1 goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Players. So I was not even in the bench.
Yeah.
I was expecting to play from the beginning. So he didn't play me. And also, I didn't go to the bench. And in that game, I don't know if you remember, what was the name of number 9 of Aberdeen in that moment? Robbie something?
Robbie Winters.
I think the goalkeeper.
Jim Leighton.
Got sent off in the first minute of the game.
He was injured, wasn't he? He got injured.
Or injured.
I think he was injured, yeah.
Injured. I'm not sure. Maybe sent off. We have to find out. Maybe you have better memory than me, because I was very pissed. So I didn't play, and I saw from the stand with all the fans that they were with 1 man less and with Robbie Winter in goal. So there was no chance that as a striker you would not score.
Yeah.
Game, I don't know, 6-0, 7-0, I don't remember. I wanted to kill Advocat. Kill
Advocat.
I wanted to kill him.
Okay, right. Sebastian, question from James E. Robertson. Before the move came about, did you know much about Rangers and the history of the club?
In that period, like I told you a few minutes ago, I got into to study, to learn about the culture, about the country, and especially about the club. And in that period, before I left, I talked to a lot of people. Of course, Walter, Archie, and the people in the club helped me before I traveled with a lot of information. And I went deep to find out about the club.
Yeah. Right.
And then, of course, when I arrived, I saw the trophy room, and when you arrive to Ibrox, you see all the pictures from many years before for players. I don't know, all the players important in the club.
Yeah. Okay, quite something from Chris Forrest. Seb, me and my friend Robert Macquarie met you and Claudia Rainey in Babaza. Robert's father, Dermot Macquarie, was good friends with your father. Yeah? Do you know? No?
What is Babasa? I don't remember now.
Well, if somebody's on the night, they can tell us what I think it's a night. Is it a nightclub in Glasgow? Is it? Nightclub?
Maybe.
Babasa? Maybe. You and Claudia Arena?
Yes, I think, yes.
Are we not supposed to be there?
Maybe the only time that the wife of Claudio let him go.
You weren't supposed to be there, were you?
No, probably he went with her, probably. He was a very organized and serious guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, Claudio Reyna was a great player for Rangers, Sebastian.
Very good player, very
Yeah.
talented. Well, he played in Manchester City, have a beautiful career. And also, I was very close to Claudio because we live, I don't know, 5 houses from each other. And
Right.
Claudio, his family is from Argentina.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So Claudio spoke perfect Spanish. And his parents were from Argentina. So when they went to visit him in Glasgow, we went out for dinner and everything. I still
Oh,
talk to Claudio.
oh, good. Okay. Brilliant. Question from Graham McCallum. Are there any good Chilean players you can send to Rangers, Sebastian?
A lot. I would love to bring. I would love. The only problem with Chileans in general is that we are not lucky like Argentinians. To play in the UK, you need the work permit if you don't have the European passport.
Yeah.
So it's difficult for a Chilean. Chileans in general don't have European passport, and you have to qualify with certain amount of games, the percentage of the national team.
Okay.
So usually those players in general, like Alexis Sanchez or Vidal, are very expensive from club to club, the transfer
Yeah.
from club to club. So I hope one day somebody with passport and everything, or with the work permit can play there. It would be my dream that I couldn't realize. I mean, to complete
Yeah.
or to make. It would be my dream to see somebody from Chile there and be very, very successful.
Yeah. So at the minute, that's what you're doing now, Sebastian. You working with players like Alexis Sanchez and all.
I work in an office for 9 years. The office is called 22.
Yeah.
And we have the representation of the most important players in Chile. It's a good company. We have Alexis Sanchez, Arturo Vidal, Gary Medel, Chales Aranguis, almost all the national team.
Yeah. Good. Okay. It's another question from James E. Robertson. Out of all the characters in the dressing room at your time with the club, who was the biggest messer? Well, I think we know who that is. Like.
Gaza and a great character that I found was Ali McCoy.
Alan McCoist.
Friendly, funny, messer in a really good way. Number one, you cannot compete with him. Everybody knows that you cannot compete with Gaza.
I know.
You cannot compete. It's impossible.
Well, you must have a story or two you can tell us, Sebastian, about Gaza.
Oof. Many. He was really nice to me. One day, I don't like to talk too much about these things because then appears in any newspaper or anything. But I found him, apart from all the difficulties that he had and that everybody's happy when he's fine. Many years that I didn't see him, unfortunately. We went to an Italian restaurant in the city center, and it was very cold. I don't remember, it was January, February.
Yeah.
No, it's a beautiful story. No, it's not even that. It's not funny. It's a beautiful. Because everybody tells stories about him having fun and drinking and everything because he was amazing. But what I love more about him with the difficult life that he had to live being that level of idol, because I always think that he was David Beckham without the image or marketing that David Beckham had, but in level of being famous or loved by the people in the UK was in the same level, in my opinion. I don't know if, and also there was no social media, not as many as advertising that you have now. So we were coming out of the restaurant. It was really cold. Imagine January, February in Glasgow.
Yeah.
And there was a guy sleeping in the street, a homeless, out of the restaurant. And he had a coat. Imagine, I don't know how much that coat can cost. 5,000, 3,000, 7,000. I have no idea.
Yeah.
And he took off the coat. He covered the guy in the street like a blanket, He took out, covered him, and he left. Nobody knew. Nobody talked about that. It was never in the press. He did it because of his heart.
Yeah.
So of course I laugh, and everybody laughed, and everybody want to hear stories about him drinking and making fun, and we can talk for hours. But imagine I was 2021, coming to a new world.
Yeah.
I had a good situation. Thank God, my family was in a good situation, different than in general most of the South American players. I had good education. I went to a British school. My family had good economy situation always, so I never missed anything. I had food. I had everything.
Yeah.
So to go there and see such a big idol and such a character that you fall in love with those things. That's something that I love more than the other stuff.
Yeah. Well done, Gaza. Well done, Gaza. Obviously, folks, if you're listening or watching this tonight, like and share the Facebook page on here now. Just hit the like button and share. If you're on the Twitter account, retweet it, folks. To want to get this page raised over 30,000 people. So, question from Susie Sue: at what moment in your time at Rangers did you realise that you weren't just part of a team, but part of a family?
From the first day. From the first day. Before even I arrived, like I told you the story of Walter. When Walter came here and said, I wanted to meet you in person before you go to Rangers, it was incredible. And then from the first day that I came to the dressing room, everybody received me with open arms. They helped me in the adaptation to be in another country alone as a boy of 20 years old. And even after, when I got injured, I felt even more,
Yeah.
It's not that I didn't play and nobody cared about me. Completely the opposite. They care more. And they picked me up from the hotel. They took me to their houses to have lunch, dinner. They invite me to go for beers with a couple of players. They pick me up. Amazing. It's difficult that the people understand who doesn't love Rangers or live in a country far, far, far away, that realize how it is to park the car and walk the street when you get in the middle of the stadium inside, and all the fans, and very respectful. In South America, they jump on you. There was the most respectful place and loved place. So it's a really, really, really amazing family.
Yeah, good. Okay.
And I'm sure it's still like that.
Still is. Still the Rangers family, Seb, yeah. So question for the Rangers, Fit Kitman. Many Rangers players have funny stories about Jimmy Bell. Does Seb have any memories of Jimmy Bell?
One of the things that was incredible about Jimmy was very hard for me to understand the way that he speak. It was really, 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 really hard. And stories. Oof. Too many. One day, Gaza had his car. Let me try to remember. He had his car parked in the inside of the stadium.
Yeah.
And he left the sunroof open. And he called some of the guys, and he started throwing eggs to the car.
Brilliant.
Incredible.
Okay, so if Jimmy Bell, if you weren't having a good day with Jimmy Bell, let you know that, yeah?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. But it was the accent that he had. For me, was I spent 2 years, and I always was very hard for me to. But he was friendly and good. Hard on you, of course, always, but really, really, really good.
Yeah, good. Okay, question from Paul Miller, Sebastian. Is Walter Smith the best manager you've played under?
It's difficult to just pick up one. I was lucky. Manuel Pellegrini, the coach of City, Real Madrid, now he's in Betis, was the coach when I start playing, when I was 18 in 94, 95, and 96. So I learned a lot with him. In 1993, we qualified to the World Cup under 17 in Japan. It was the first time that Chile qualified to a World Cup under 17.
Yeah.
And we went to Japan and we got the third place. We lost the semifinal against Ghana. And the champion in that year was Nigeria. Kanu was player of Nigeria in that final. Babayaro, the left back of Chelsea. So when we came back to Chile, we don't have any idea how famous we were.
Yeah.
The level that I couldn't go out in the street.
Yeah.
To go to the national team training center, I had to come down off the car 3 blocks before, get inside of the trunk, and arrive inside of the trunk, because if not, they would destroy the car. Really, really, it's difficult to explain. We couldn't go out. So imagine, I was 17. I was the newspaper when we arrived. The most important newspaper wrote, Beatles arrived. 10,000 girls between 12 and 18 at 7 o'clock in the morning in the airport waiting. 10,000.
10,000 girls.
10,000 girls plus fans. But everybody was in love with that generation and national team. So Manuel Pellegrini was a coach who put my feet on the ground all the time.
Yeah.
And then I had the chance to meet Walter. And what I learned from him, apart from football, because from football you learn from every coach. Every coach gives you something. But what I learned more from him was how you have to treat a player, because each player is one person and you cannot treat everybody the same. And Walter was like a father.
Yeah.
That everybody would say something like that. And to me, it was even more because he felt very bad when I got injured. And I was only 20 years old, alone there. And I think it's one of the most important persons that I met in my life. It's difficult to say the best coach, because you have so many, Advocat, Pellegrini, Walter. In the national team, we had good coaches as well. But it's one of the best persons that I met in my life, not only in football.
Yeah, yeah. So the difference is fine. How did you find like Advocat to work under then, Sebastian?
There were 2 different coaches. One more close to you, that was Walter. The other one a little bit more cold, but good. Not in a bad way. But you felt like a little wall between you and him.
Yeah.
But also, I think the level of the players that in one moment Advocat had was incredible. Arthur Newman, left back of the national team of Holland, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, Claudio Reina, national team player of United States, Kanchelski, Amoruso, Craig Moore, Barry Ferguson. Was those years the club had incredible players. Then the Boer brothers arrived, and Jonas Stern, many players. So in tactics was really, really good to play for him. Good training system. I think it was an honor for me to play with such a important coach worldwide.
Yeah. At your time at Rangers, then, Sebastian, what player were you most closest to, as in your friend? Was it Claudio Reina or
Claudio in one moment? Ali also in the beginning. In general, I had really good relation with everybody because I was single. I didn't have girlfriend in that moment, so I was open to go anywhere, anytime. So if Ali invited me to his house with his family and kids, I would go out with Craig Moore and Charlie Miller for a beer alone. So I had excellent. One really important to me was Richard Goff.
Yeah,
he was an amazing professional that you need to learn from him how to train every day.
Yeah,
the way that he behaved with food, and with lifestyle, and he was really important to me as well. Really,
Yeah.
really important.
Yeah. Okay, so the question from Leslie Wallace: who was the most talented player you've played with?
As a teammate or rival?
Most player you've played with.
I would say both. I will answer both. Against who just passed away a few months ago, Maradona.
Yeah.
It was from another planet.
Yeah.
And also, I had the luck to meet him and to be with him many, many times. And it's a kind of story like Gaza, so famous, so famous that he cannot go out in the street and they cannot live freely, but with a heart from another world. He would go in the dressing room and ask the young players, because I know I play with players that were in the same team with him.
Yeah.
He would go to you, ask you how much you make. He would say 2,000 pounds. And he would go to the president and said, if you don't give him 10, I don't play anymore.
That's a good man to have.
To all the boys, to big players that had good salary, of course he helped. But the Boca Juniors go to play in Korea because they pay $10 million because Maradona is going.
Yeah.
And Maradona will not travel if they don't give bonus to all the players.
Wow.
So, and that I play with, there's an Argentinian striker, number 9, Alberto Acosta. He played in Sporting Lisbon in 99, 2000. And we played together in Católica. It was amazing. Salas, of course.
Yeah. He was special.
Strikers in that period. And then in Rangers, Brian Laudrup was incredible. Pace, size, strength, dribbling, complete. Idol. Like when they do like this, 100%.
Yeah, Brian Laudrup. Yeah. Okay. Question from Derek Gray. Sebastian, when you were growing up, did you always want to play football?
Yes, like every child in general, but you don't think that it's going to be that possible or that easy to start playing. And in my case, I started playing very late. I went by myself on a trial to Católica. I finished school, I take a bus, went to the stadium, and I told them, can I try? And they told me, yeah, really, it was like that. 16th of May, 1992. I went, I asked the coach, I trained Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and on Monday, they registered me in the club.
Yeah.
And in 16th of September of the same year, I played my first professional game.
Fantastic.
4 months after. So 4 months before I played my first professional game, I was playing in school.
Wow.
So, of course, was my dream. And it became very easy to make the decision because sometimes it takes you 4 or 5 years that you have to fight. But everything was coming fast, quick, and easy. Not that I was so good. I mean, like everything happened very easy and quick. National team, under 17 national team, under 20, under 23. I played my first game for national team, the major, at 18.
18.
I played Copa America with 18 with Chile.
Wow. Yeah.
So like the decision was very easy to make.
Yeah.
And it, of course, was my dream.
Okay, folks. If you're watching this, enjoying Sebastian, like and share the page, folks. And also, if you're on the Twitter, hit the retweet button, please. The same guy, Derek Gray, says, obviously, Sebastian, do you keep in contact with any Gers players still?
Yes. I speak with Ali McCoy when he answered. But he's not very good answering. With Walter, sometimes I'm in touch. With the ones that I talk more are with Michael Mols, with Arthur Newman a lot. With Arthur, and also because I travel a lot to Europe and I go to Holland. It's one of the places that I have to travel because of the work that I do. I usually have the chance to see him. I didn't play with Ronald de Boer, but every time that I go to Holland, I spent time with him. I didn't play with him, but we have good relation. With Claudio, I speak in the phone. With those guys, I speak.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. Sebastian, so it's from Billy McNeil. Hi, Seb. Hope you and your family are well. Is there one moment you knew your Rangers career was over?
I was very frustrated after all the surgeries because it was like how you call roar. You go in the boat, roar.
Yeah. Row the boat. Yeah.
I was arriving to the pier or to the beach, and somebody took me and go 10 million miles back.
Yeah.
Because I was recovering, I come back, I play one game, not good. 6 months again, and 6 months again was 4 times 6 months. So I was very frustrated. But then when I recover, and I came back in 2000, there is the biggest mistake that I made in my career in decision, because was the first time that I was going to make a preseason healthy with the club. Because after when I came back to play in 2000, I never had problems in my knee ever.
Yeah.
And I made the stupid decision to go to play in Argentina when I left. It was in July of 2000.
Yeah.
I regret. That was a really bad decision, especially made by my father in that moment. Advocate told me that I was not 100% in the first 11. So I was going to go to the national team every month for 10 days. So he told me that if I stay, and I'm in the same condition with the other striker that is spent 30 days in Glasgow, the striker that is going to play is the one who stay 30 days in Glasgow. Then he was really honest. I always appreciate that from Advocate. He told me, if you stay, I always like you. I wanted to bring you before to BSB, before I went to Rangers. So he knew me. If you want to stay, no problem. You have to fight. And then if you score 10 goals, you're going to be the number 9. But it's going to be hard. So I made the stupid decision to leave in that moment. That I went to Argentina, and then I never came back to Rangers. With a good preseason, I would play 3-4 years in Rangers for sure.
Yeah, so
was my fault.
Your fault, yeah. Bad decision. Yeah.
Bad decision.
Okay.
Sorry, Gary. To complete, I was going to play in France '98 as a striker in Chile, with Zamorano and Salas, and I missed the World Cup because of the knee. So my dream and my head was in Korea 2002.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be in the national team, but in that moment the decision was play at Rangers, score 10 goals. They're going to call you anyway to the national team.
Yeah.
I made the decision to be close to the national team, to play in Argentina, and to travel every month 1 hour instead of 20.
Yeah.
That was the wrong decision.
Wrong decision, yeah. Okay, Sebastian, question here is, when you signed for Rangers, how much pressure did it put on you, being you were the most expensive signing in Chilean football history?
Not much pressure. It was more like a compliment. I didn't take it as a pressure. You know that still the biggest price that Católica sold, still now. They didn't sell a player in that amount yet.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, still. Then Colo-Colo sold Vidal in a lot of money, and Matias Fernandez as well. But from Chile, I'm still, I think, top 5. I think. It was an honor for me. The club like Rangers paid that amount of money for a young boy. Usually, if everything was normal, that David Murray in that moment, and also Walter, they had expectations to pay 4, but after 2 years, they were going to sell me for 20 to Man United or any of those teams.
Yeah. Okay. Robbie Logan question. What do you think of the current Rangers team?
I follow all the time. Here they don't show live games in TV, but I try to watch them in the computer, in the website that you find that they show the games. I'm really happy about the club, the manager, and the players are making. It's a special year, and you are more happy because also you realize from what they came.
Yeah.
See Rangers playing in lower divisions in really small stadiums. One game with, I don't know, 1,000, and the next weekend 52,000 in Ibrox. Something not normal for any other club. So fighting with Celtic, and to come back and to beat them the way that the club doing in this season, everybody is really, really happy, and I love to see them win and playing in that level. And of course, as a South American player, I'm very happy that Rangers have a top striker from South America like Morelos, that
That's
he
it. Next
scored.
question.
Next question.
Next question. Yeah, there you go. Can you read it? Yeah. Green McCallum.
Yeah. Do you like it from as a striker, and what do you think? It's very difficult for a South American striker to adapt to play in Scotland. The pace of the game, the style of football that is completely different to especially for him to Colombia, where the weather is hot. The grass in general in Colombia is very long.
Yeah.
The ball in Ibrox fly,
Yeah.
In Europe, in England, in all the countries. So he had a period of adaptation, and he did really, really good.
Sorry, Seb, can you hear me?
Yes, you can hear me?
No, I lost you there. Sorry, what did you say?
No, that I was very happy that he took the period of adaptation that everybody needs, especially somebody coming from South America, and every time that he play, he make an impact.
Yeah.
And he scored a lot of goals.
Yeah.
There's no many South American players that play in Rangers, so it's not easy to adapt, and he did very well.
Yeah. Okay, question from Andrew McTaggart. Have you thought about a manager role, and could you see yourself having a role for Rangers Scout in South America for another Morales?
My dream, since I retired, I want to be sport director. That's my dream. I studied for that. I went to the university here, and of course, in my job now, I spend 6 months in Europe, and every trip I'm with the sport director of Arsenal, City, Barcelona, Inter Milan, Galatasaray, Besiktas, Rangers. I met the sport director that you have in the club now.
Ross Wilson.
I met him when he was in Southampton. An amazing guy, and excellent professional. And I try to learn from all those people every trip that I make, because in the near future, I would love to be sport director. And imagine in 20 years, I don't want to say anything now because there's somebody there, of course, but in 10 years, would be a dream to work in the club.
Yeah. Okay. So
and of course, Ross know that he can call me anytime. It doesn't matter my job, I'm not going to get involved, because even if I work as an agent, I have very good relation with a lot of scouts of the clubs, so they can call me and ask me for a player in Argentina, and I'm not going to get involved as a manager, as an agent. So if Ross or anybody, the scout of Juve is very close to me, and sometimes he asks me about a player in Argentina, because I watch a lot of football, and I give my opinion, just honest, not because I want to get involved in the business,
Yeah, that's interesting when you say about meeting Ross Wilson in Southampton, Sebastian, because that's where obviously I live. So, what South Americans did you send to Southampton?
No, not one. I went to learn to the club. No, unfortunately, as I told you, Chileans don't have passport, European passport, so it's very hard to play in the UK. You have to be Alexis Sanchez, Gary Medel, that you have the games in the national team that allow you to play.
Yeah. Okay. Question to Scott Smith: is there any good Chilean players that be good for Rangers team right now? Well, we know there is, but you can't get them here.
Yeah, but there's a couple of central defenders now with the body type that is required for England. There's a central defender playing in Watford, Francisco Sierra Alta, very good defender.
Yeah.
He's in the starting 11 of Watford. Benjamin Kusevich is playing in Palmeiras as a central defender, good defender. Maripan is playing in Monaco. Maybe hard now, but maybe in a couple of years. But I'm saying just like with respect, it's not that I'm proposing those
Yeah.
players because some of them doesn't work with our office. But
Yeah.
they're good defenders. But also, I'm sure that Ross Wilson and the manager and Steve are much better than me choosing players.
Yeah. And question here from Bill McNeil. Hi again, Seb. Could you believe the dark days of administration could ever happen to a club like Glasgow Rangers?
No. Like every fan, because I'm fan of Rangers. I don't play anymore. I cannot play. We never thought that was going to be possible. Never.
Yeah.
Nobody thought that. So it was a huge surprise that happened, and was very sad moment. I don't know the real story. I don't know everything from inside, so it's very hard to give an opinion. But was a sad moment to see the club in that way.
Yeah. Sebastian, what's your thoughts on Steven Gerrard and how he's doing at Rangers, the style of football?
I was really happy that he got his position in the club. At the beginning, you don't know how good he's going to be because of the experience of a coach.
Yeah.
And it's those special cases. Usually, when a player retired, it takes time to get to an important club. And with him, happened something similar to, I don't know, Guardiola. That he finished playing and he get the job without too many experience, and it went well because also you see that the team have a way of playing. You see the way of Steven Gerrard. You watch the game and you see that sometimes you can win, sometimes you can lose. It can happen to all the coaches. You never win all the time, but you see the team and you know how they're gonna play, and you have more chances to win with his way.
Yeah. Okay, Sebastian, we'll take this as the last question for the night. If you were asked next week to recommend a player, who would it be and why?
If you were in the next week to recommend a player, I would love. It's impossible, but I would love to see Arturo in it.
Sorry, you're breaking up. Who do you say, Sebastian?
Sorry. I would love. It's impossible, but I would love to see Arturo Vidal playing at Rangers. The fans will love him. A boy with a heart, and that he fight and tackle and score goals. Is the best Chilean player in history, in my opinion. So the fans will love to see him play for Rangers. It would be my dream. I know that is almost impossible, but that would be a dream. And I know that the coach will love him also.
Yeah. Okay, Sebastian, that's been fantastic. You've given us an hour of your time.
Thanks to you.
Thank you, Sebastian. And we're going to say cheerio. But if you can just stay on, Sebastian, then I'll come back and speak to you when we're finished, okay?
Yes. You
just stay in. Okay, Sebastian, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, folks. Sebastian Rozental was there live from Chile. Folks, like and share the page. And if you're on Twitter, retweet. I think Sebastian was very, very good. Remember, folks, the shirt. Let's try and get the signature. Michael Moles. You see it here. It's got the Union flag and the Lee Rigby Foundation logo. Go to the Facebook page and follow the instructions if you want to win that shirt, folks. So you need to like and share the page, comment Moles goals, and tag a friend. Folks, Wednesday night we will have Matthew Clark, obviously he was at Rangers but didn't make it. He's now playing for Linfield. Matthew Clark will be on Wednesday night. Next Sunday, folks, it's Matt Letizier, obviously one of the greatest players to play in the Premier League, and obviously ex-Sky Sports, so we'll maybe have a good chat with Matt about that. And then on the 21st, folks, of February, yes, it's none other than Mark Hateley, one of the biggest names to play for Rangers, folks. Mark Hateley. So if you go to the Facebook page, there's an event page there, so you can tag in with and watch the Mark Hateley show. And then on the 28th, we'll be streaming with our friends at Saints World, ex-Rangers in Southampton, James Beattie, also Cap England folks. So James Beattie will be on. And there's loads of other players. So going to be coming up. So keep liking and sharing the page, folks. And I hope you're enjoying the podcast. Leave me a nice comment if you're enjoying them. And I'll catch us later, folks. Good night.